Get logged in, then we'll do Bio Project, okay? And then we'll game until we gotta go home.
Yeah, now we need a code. Fun.
Oh,
Now.
nice. It worked.
I've had to close it. Need to update.
Sorry.
Caps mode.
It'll automatically capitalize it.
Yeah.
Luckily, Ethan played Warframe yesterday on there, so you're good and updated.
Well, I just need to install it. If it was like.
You may see. Like I said. Actually, first go to the store and you gotta add to your library.
Yeah, that's Warframe. Boink.
Hit view page.
Boring.
And hit play game or add to library.
What? Now, can I just screen account right now?
We're gonna first. Yep. Alright, Micah, you ready to read?
Yeah, Micah.
Ethan, you ready to read?
Maybe.
Not screen try to do that.
Perhaps.
Huzzah! I'm so confused.
Hey, buddy.
Alright, we're gonna learn about the Day of the Lord.
My chair's over there, so I'm gonna go stand.
Okay.
That's electrical. Not my fault.
Alright, let's do this. And actually, Logan might just hop on. So let's make it so he could watch also. Alright, let's do this. I want to pray. King Jesus, your home for amazing. Thank you for just this beautiful time together. Thank you that you created a visual arts experience. We don't have to just be in the backyard throwing dice on the ground like street urchins. That's a funny image of all just in the back acting like punks. But no, you just give us all these delightful, like I said again, visual arts, and you're just a good God. You created good things. You created a beautiful raw material, and you say, "Hey, go use it to greater inventions." And so right now we're taking that into delightful times together. May you be worship in all we do. May you be thankful. May we be thankful for all that we do towards you. Amen. All right.
The Day of the Lord. It's a phrase in the Bible that religious people use, usually when talking about the end of the world.
Yeah, things like Armageddon or the apocalypse. You might be familiar with this image of Jesus returning on a white horse. He's got a sword to bring final judgment.
And everyone wants to know, how will it all go down?
So a lot of these images come from the last book of the Bible, but to understand them, you have to go back to the first book.
When the story begins, we watch God create an amazing world, and then he gives humans power to rule over it on his behalf.
But the humans are tempted by this mysterious, unhuman character who offers them a promise. You could define good and evil on your own terms and put yourselves in God's place.
Which is what they do. And the resulting stories are about the broken relationships and violence that results.
Yeah, this promise creates huge problems. Now everyone has to protect themselves and fight for survival, and they're all using death as this weapon to gain power.
It all leads to a story about the building of the city of Babylon.
Or in Hebrew, Bavel. Everyone comes together to elevate themselves to the place of God. And God knows how devastating this could be. A whole culture redefining good and evil as if they are God.
So God confuses their language and scatters them.
Now from here on, Babylon becomes like an icon in the biblical story. It's an image that represents humanity's corporate rebellion against God.
And the next time we see it is in the story of ancient Egypt.
Yeah, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, he feels threatened by these immigrant Israelites. He starts killing all of the boys, enslaving the rest.
And this is really evil.
Yeah, Egypt's like this bigger, badder Babylon. They take care of themselves at the expense of others by redefining evil as good. And so God turns Pharaoh's evil back on him. His pride drives him forward, and he's swallowed up by death.
Now, after this great deliverance, the Israelites sing a song about how God is their warrior who liberated them from evil.
And the Israelites referred to this moment as the day.
The day they were rescued from a corrupt human system.
And every year since then, the Israelites have celebrated the day of their liberation with this symbolic meal of a sacrificial lamb. It's called Passover.
Eventually, Israel comes into its own land, have their own kings, and they face new enemies.
So that past day of the Lord, celebrated every Passover, begins to generate hope that God will bring the day again to save Israel from new threats.
Now, out in the hills was a sheep herder named Amos.
He was appointed by God as a prophet to announce shocking news to Israel, that God was bringing another day of the Lord against his enemies, and this time the target is Israel.
What?
Sadly, Israel's leaders had also redefined good and evil for themselves, resulting in corruption and violence.
So God's people have become like Babylon, the oppressed become oppressors. Babylon seems like a trap no one can escape.
And so the day of the Lord comes upon Israel. They're conquered, taken captive into exile, and from then on, Israel suffered under the rule of continuous oppressive empires.
This is the story Jesus was born into.
Yeah, in his day, the oppressive empire over Israel is Rome.
So, is Jesus gonna confront Rome, take him out?
Well, no. Jesus saw the real enemy as that mysterious, unhuman evil. The evil that's lured Babylon, Egypt, Rome, Israel, all humanity has given in to evil's promise of power. This is what Jesus resisted alone in the wilderness when he was tempted to exploit his power for self-interest.
But he didn't. And after that, he started to confront the effects of evil on others.
Yeah, he started saying that he was going to Jerusalem for Passover for a final showdown to confront the evil of Israel and Rome by dying.
Dying? I mean, that feels like losing.
Jesus was going to let evil exhaust all of its power on him, using its only real weapon, death. Jesus knew that God's love and life were even more powerful, that he could overcome evil by becoming the Passover lamb, giving his life in an act of love. And something changed that day. When Jesus defeated evil, he opened up a new way for anyone to escape from Babylon and discover this new kind of power, this new way of being human.
Okay, so something changed. But the power of evil is still alive and well, and we keep building new versions of Babylon.
Right. And so the last book of the Bible, the Revelation, points to the future and final day of the Lord. It's when God's kingdom comes to confront Babylon the Great, this image of all the corrupt nations of the world.
Yeah, this is it. Armageddon, final judgment. How is Jesus gonna finish off evil?
Well, that's not how you'd expect. In the Revelation, the victorious Jesus is symbolized by a sacrificial bloody lamb. And then when Jesus does arrive in the end, riding his white horse to confront evil, he's bloody before the battle even starts.
Pre-bloodied? That's a strange image.
Yeah, it's because Jesus isn't out for our blood. Rather, he overcame with his blood when he died for his enemies. And the sword is in his mouth. It's a symbol of Jesus' authority to define good and evil and hold us accountable when he brings final justice once and for all.
And so, in the meantime, the day of the Lord is an invitation to resist the culture of Babylon.
And it's a promise that God will one day free our world from corruption and bring about the new things that he has in store.
All right. Anything stood out to you, bro? All of it? Was it good? So good. Anything particular?
No, it was wrong.
Any rock? What was bad? So funny that you've been around enough that you could just say raw, and all of us who just know a little bit of Hebrew means evil, means bad in Hebrew.
And Mikey didn't know that.
I mean, he may have. Yeah. So he could. Yeah. The great part is us who say that Jesus is our King. He has. It's like the victory has happened. We're just slowly seeing more and more of that being fully realized until when it's completely realized on the final D-Day, final day of the Lord. All right, Ethan. Anything stood out to you? You want to share? You liked?
At one point, the animation showed pizza in the good section. So I was wondering if we could just kind of go back to that and see if at one point it was considered bad. Because I don't think pizza is bad.
It's not about pizza, Ethan.
I need answers. I don't need sleep. I need answers.
It's not about pizza.
There's actually another one, and I think it's about the holy priesthood, where it's the same kind of good and bad. And there's Furbies. Furbies are like part of the evil. Yeah, it's like evil human creation. I just love that. I just love that little tie-in.
Did not do that. Maybe Ravenswatch is bad.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Anything else stood out to you?
Watch Ravenswatch just watching this.
Man, just them bringing up Revelation, just talking about this mystery Babylon and like it being destroyed by Jesus. Some good stuff. But also like the imagery of Jesus being depicted in that book. The fact that he's on a horse, I think, has more meaning than just, imagery. But that would go into a whole bunch of other talking points, which I won't get into. But it's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
to
like
be fair, horses are a symbol of favor.
Yeah, and that's the whole part. Is there's this repeated motif in Book of Revelation is what John hears, but what he sees. So he hears a military army, he hears the census, but then he sees the human martyrs. And so like Revelation is always doing this great upside down where Jesus is he's on a battle tank horse, but his robe is already dipped in blood, which is a symbol of victory and death. Anything stood out to you, Micah? Anything you liked?
Just how he's like, he's not like using weapons or anything or like power to like.
Mm.
What's it called?
Yeah. Not using the fear of death to really rule.
Yeah, and he's more like loving and like forgiving. And,
Yeah. Because that's really like any and all empires. When you get down to it, even all our fears, even fear of spiders, it like goes, the root of it is the fear of death. And so to get you what I want to do, like I could put a spider right next to you and go, Micah, eat this pizza, or just try to get you to do something you don't want to do. And I put a spider right next to you. That's the fear of death. So you fear that spider might kill you. And so I'm using the fear of death to then rule over you.
And then that's when Michael grabs the rubber hammer and goes.
Yeah, and that's what like all really like that's the pinnacle way of we are ruled by. Like take for instance, anytime I want to compromise, right? Like I want to have that elevated experience. I don't want to miss out before I die. Like the classic thing where people say, I got to have my bucket list and I got to do my bucket list before I die. Like even then, you even hear in that, and I'm not saying it's bad to have a bucket list, but the root of it, yeah. So no, people call it a bucket list. It's a whole movie. Okay, but anyways, okay. But my point is like even that has I want to do all these before I die. Like there is a fear of death that is just ingrained into the human psyche. All right, let's play some more frame.
I have to create my account.
All right, I'll hit BRB. No.
Yeah. I like how you took initiative when that could just be like.
Well, to Have you seen this? I'll hit cancel. This is all new stuff for us. All right. Well, this is new.
Yeah. That's the new intro.
Is it a new intro?
I haven't seen this.
Yeah. They didn't have it when I first started.
Oh, then now I have to. Is there a way to access the cinematics in game?
That is a good question, and I do not have an answer. Sprint, dodge, shift, just leave it as that. Jump, go one in a space. Well, yeah, I said it was like something wrong.
I knew we had a shared passion, Hunter.
All right. When you have a moment, Ethan, which is it the resource drop chance booster that's the best out of this? Or the new roads?
So resource drop chance booster is going to make it so that the rarer materials drop more. Hover over gallium and hover over nodes. Nodes.
Okay.
So placement, I think that's just for doing decorations. Honestly, you'll be fine with that. Pretty much same thing. Everything I do when I have to move up, like jump. One other thing.
Why is intro so long?
It's giving you a nice
There's nothing
cinematic
like
of the starter characters. You saw Excalibur, you're currently looking at Mad. You'll want to choose him because he's a lot harder to get used to.
Protein detectors should be on board. Not sure what they look like. See what you can find.
Now the other thing is, actually, I'm gonna go to
It's, right. It's a great, big hand.
Granum Tribute. Story is, Parvos was missing his left hand. See if you can...
Another engineering blunder? We need confirmation. Reset and get our next volunteer into position.
What was that?
I think it was a void temporal shift. I'm not entirely sure. Never seen one before. Small, though. About as big as a person. Patch me into the system. Could do with some noise while I'm eyeballing the bits.
You are found. Remember the first days of Fortuna. Your failure, our victory. Without the Solaris, your aspirations are nothing. Return our Solaris brothers and sisters, or to nothing. So I swear, you will return. You and your bleeding heart, Tenno's son. I really don't have time for this. My robotics, on the other hand, do. Kill crews, take care of this. I have history to make.
I got all the research done, so I'm going to
Ready now? For in-trace spiking.
go ahead.
It's time! Send in the next volunteer!
They're gearing up for something.
The easiest starter.
So you get to go all swordsy.
Also that way.
And really, at the end though, you could just choose whichever one you.
What is
Eventually
that
we're gonna
thing?
Yeah.
I'm not. Outworlder, hold position. I'm getting something.
He'll pay for this. Volunteers. He's killing our people for some kind of weapons test.
Maybe not. I'm still pulling signal from that jockey's rig.
What kind of signal?
I don't know yet. Outworlder, don't let them cut the signal before I can decode it.
It should be. You have a gun, but it could be just where you're at right now. There's FOV in the settings.
My void!
That's
It's real! It's real!
What is this? What
That
are we looking at?
or
The jockey's feed.
the type in.
Sparky, you better get out of there. Well, we make sense of this.
Not those. Your mouse. Copies. This. Yeah. That's gonna give you the best one. There you go.
Another job well executed.
Now, are you able? I asked. I bumped all the way up. Like, come down. Because when you're doing a mission and like act,
We'll be waiting for you, Outworlder.
it's like you want to eye on that. So that I'd say go with the on us, plenty of power. So go back to that sword.
The block is right click, by the way, when you have the sword out. There you go. It's it's E for this, yeah.
So, my game, I changed the bindings, like all of my physical moves are on the mouse. Makes it a lot easier. So, hit. So go to that. Here's my right. On crouch. Crouch.
How many kids are going to grow up in the feds because of this? How many parents lost because I couldn't do my job?
Yuri. There's a vet kid a very long time ago who would have hero worshipped the woman she became. You're enough.
If Neff intends to visit that pocket for his proof, he won't risk himself. Not at first. Sparky, you can
It does
beat
make
him
one
to
of
it.
the moves a lot.
Biz has figured out how to activate Neff's Granum tributes. You won't believe this.
These tributes are essentially coin operated. You'll need a Granum crown. You'll have to search the ship.
Neff as the Corpus figurehead, with a united board behind him, will be held for us and workers everywhere. See if you can get across first. Tax whatever proof he's hoping to collect, muck up his plan, and find our people. To cross over, you'll need to find a Granum crown first. Search the area. If you make it across,
What?
keep an eye out for our people. They may
You'll
have
do that.
survived. I've told more than enough kids their parents aren't coming home.
Wait for Ethan's help.
Cruz, the tomb is verified intact. Dispatch the treasurer with my offering. It's time I paid tribute myself.
All right, here's our chance. Time to tax the taxman.
If only Parvos could have lived to see this day. Imagine his face, beaming with pride, as he bestowed upon me his son, that sacred golden hand. My surgeons have assured me the procedure will be quick and painless. A pound of old flesh for a glorious new legacy.
I paid top credits to crap in Neff's coffin. Double if he was still alive.
One scan of Parvos Granum, and my lineage shall be proven. None shall deny me. What? Tenno? Again? Not today. As Parvos' heir, it is my offering to make. I am coming, Father. It is I who shall pay tribute. Your Neff is almost home. They must not reach him before we do. Is that understood?
Him! As if the body would still be intact. Something's off. Get to the tribute. Expect some friction.
The tributes won't activate with combat nearby. You'll need to take out those troops before going in. We've got a lock on you, Outwelder. Good luck.
It has been so long since these old eyes beheld another living thing here in the sanctuary. I am Parvos Granum. Thank you for finding me.
I am void. You are alive. My faith never wavered.
I live. Treachery seethed within the heart of the faith I had built when the board's assassins overloaded my transport drive. Protea, my beautiful Protea, and her gift for manipulating time preserved me. But at the cost of all that she was. Now, she is nothing more than a specter of her former self. My beautiful Protea. That is why you have been invited here.
Father, permit me to show you all I have built in your name. Do Nef Onyo that honor.
My name. I have watched you. Monuments to narcissism, demanding others sweat in your stead, gorging upon that which you have not earned. Watched as you claimed for yourself my teachings of self-reliance, perverting them into a flaccid philosophy of sloth, of idleness. Is that you, my son?
No, that must be a different son.
You know nothing, falling short as you do of every ideal that I value. Your words, your efforts are the model of inadequacy.
What a shutdown.
I called you, Nathaniel, but I do not need you. I need them.
Them? Tenno? Father, you're making a mistake. Come now.
Protea has scanned her kin, and with that, she is reinvigorated. Now, my lovely, if you wouldn't mind, show our guests the door.
We've got a lock on you, Outwelder. Good luck. What the hell? Outwelder, I'm pulling sensory feeds from a trip you haven't taken yet. And hearing myself say things I've never said in a place I've never seen. Parvos? Yudi, you should see this. What if Neff has similar logs?
Biz has a handle on the time jump, but we've got bigger problems than Neff now. Get out of there.
Not good enough, am I? Inadequate, am I? You've been watching me, have you? Well, watch as I show you how we do things these days. Crews, repel those specters! We have bigger fish to fry.
job well executed.
Vox Solaris. Our interests have come to align. Now, this situation is no one's fault, and I'm not one to point fingers, but my fleet and your workers are facing the same danger. Convince your Tenno servant to re-enter Granum's domain and disable that Proteus Spectre. I have just the thing they'll need, but there is some assembly required. You want to rescue those comrades trapped in there, and I want to keep the past where it belongs. Dead and buried. Deal?
Neff's a bloviating narcissist with the morals of a haunted chainsaw, but at least that makes him predictable. Parvus. That mucker is something else. I don't trust Neff, but if any of our own are still alive in there, we have to try. Biz will lead the build on this Zorus gizmo.
Oh, hey.
Neff's given us a cipher for an old Granum. File. Phantasmic scintilla and motive forces. We'll need more specifics to build whatever this tool is.
They won this one. Get out of there, Sparky.
Neff's given us a cipher for an old Granum file. Phantasmic scintilla and motive forces. We'll need more specifics to build whatever this tool is. see if our new cipher works as promised.
Some doors ought to remain closed. That's not in my worldview. Fire, fusion, void. Progress always comes entangled with risk, with violence. With the precious sample obtained, development is accelerating. The Entrotti have kept their secrets long enough.
That's not the good noise. Pull that data now, Sparky, or it's gone.
As my Archimedeans explain, mimicry is in its nature. An echo, exposed to precept circuits, we are able to imprint behaviors, like an infant neuron incarcerate. Only this infant can set the world on fire.
Counter-intrusion just made you. It started erasing files. Pull that data immediately.
Infiltrate controllers. They hit our research site with a Warframe assault team. Of course they did. I baited them to do it. The whole site lit up. 18 megatherm bloom. The whole lab vaporized. Those Warframes with it. Fire, fusion, void.
Pavos Granum originated Spectre particle theory? Guts. This old coot is a whole other order of intelligence, and that's bad news. Get back to your ship. I need to figure out this source thing.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Thanks for the fast work, Biz. Sparky, listen up. Biz's findings indicate Parvus might be close to translating himself from that reality into our own. We're not exactly sure how, but we're getting some odd readings. You've got to build the Zorus before Parvus gets free.
gas, but with an energy trap. Spectre particles, maybe. Has a mid-flight detonation trigger. Tricky, but I'm sure you'll get the hang of it. Gear up and let's go.
Tributes are jammed open and the old man's errant specters have control of my ship. They're spreading through the fleet. I have no choice. If I can't have my fleet, no one can.
This was not the deal, Anyo. We have yet to rescue our people. Disengage the destruct.
I can't do that. But don't worry. I'm already at a very comfortable, safe distance.
Yuji, the fleet's going to blow. And Welder, aboard.
Wait, it's a time prison, right? Sparky, if you can get back inside before the reactor tilts, you'd theoretically have all the time in the world. I don't think they made it.
And Welder? Yuji, they're alive. Listen, Neff's whole fleet is overloading. Huge energy spike. We need to take out Protea. Ready that, Zorus. jockeys. They're trapped in some kind of energy enclosure. You'll need to charge the Zorus to break it open.
Risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. There's no stopping this without stopping Protea. A bit like eating your own, no?
Here they come. Take out the errands, and use the Zorus to trap the Spectre particles that escape. You'll have to time it just right. Charge. Now, target the enclosure trapping our jockeys. You'll need to trigger your Zorus to discharge near them.
Best, fellow! The best!
Well done, Outworlder. Now bring the rest home. Charge. Now, target the enclosure trapping our jockeys. You'll need to trigger your Zorus to discharge near them.
What?
Charge. Now, target the enclosure trapping our jockeys. You'll need to trigger your Zorus to discharge near them.
By By now, your friends have noticed that the overloading void engines are preventing the exits you opened for my captives from closing. Well done, and goodbye. Enjoy your stay.
Outworlder, you've got to get out of there. Reversing the temporal field. Try to interrupt it. A fully charged burst from the Zorus might do it. She's reversing the temporal field. She's reversing the temporal field. That's it. The cycle's degrading. That's it. The cycle's degrading.
Your particle count is below critical. Good work.
She's reversing the temporal field.
You're too late! The old man's errant specters have... Huh? The protean trace is... gone? Where is he? Where is my father?
That temporal effect again. And yes, there are your sensory feeds, just like last time. So, the Zorus worked. In a battle that never happened. Or did it? I have a headache.
Our people are cooling in, Sparky. They're coming home. Tonight, all Fortuna will be singing a verse in your honor.
Another job well executed.
Solaris, we are reunited. Parents to children. Family to family. Take this time to hold one another. For tomorrow our struggle continues. We will persevere. Know that our emancipation is writ in the stars. With Solaris and Tenno united.
Inbox messages await the operator. I wonder what they say. If lost upon the plains outside Cetus, you may derive sustenance from mineral-dense termite droppings, which the Ostrons call Ito Da. You may also never form a consonant again, but at least you will not be dead. Ready for action.
know the legend of Ureli, yeah? The Wave Rider? Inspo for K-driving. Total legend. Anyway, you won't believe what I got my hands on. I need your help. I did something stupid. Boone's gonna be livid. Give this one last shot. Then I'll meet you in the vents. Tell Boone and you everything. Check, check. Check, check.
The system shall change. No more clutching at sunk costs, imposed ideals, hand-me-down hopes. No, we are better than that. Corpus shall know a violent restructuring, but with time enough to face the impending threat from Tau with renewed and absolute vigor. Or not. Perhaps the rot is too deep. Perhaps the father should abandon his children. Perhaps it is time for a new philosophy. Life's just a bargain like any other. Yours is no different. Would you like a seat at my new table? Perhaps with your masked friends alongside? The business, was it? A curious name. And Udico, of course. All people who know what they want. I know what they want. But what about you? Tell me, friend. What is it you desire?
We found her crushed hard at the base of the Harindi Gap, bored in bits. If her neuroconduit stays dark, she won't wake up. Only Nef's Augmentor's got the skill to replug a neuro, and there ain't no hope of his help. Ah, sis, what were you doing? We found this graphica on her. No idea what it is. Locked it is. Can't read a lick of it. Glinty, you unlocked the cover. That's Ureli. Roki loves Ureli. This is the first Wave Rider graphica ever. This is priceless. To us, anyway. The other pages, they're unlocked by performing feats? That's what Roki was trying to do out there. Unlock this thing. When I was just a sprog, I smashed myself up something awful. Near ripped the servos clean out of me knees. Wasn't expected to heal, but Roki stayed there by me cot, telling stories of the Wave Rider. Some traditional, some I'm pretty sure she made up. Don't think I'd be here today if it weren't for her and her daft Urelli stories. Those feats, they're not for us. They're for someone like you, Glinty. Help me. Give me a story to tell her. A good one.
Always fancied a lifer action, me. Except, you know, an old injury. And an aversion to having a cauterized hole blown through me parts.
Scrub me wetware before they shells me, and no mistake. Scrub a few of them too. Right out. Look, you can...
stress test. Destroy all specimens as quickly as possible. In this chaos, the true nature of these creatures will be revealed. Data conduit is open. Our experiment moves to a new zone. Hunter, you are running out of time. Enter the data conduit.